What is going on, everybody? This is Yes I Read That, and today I'm reviewing The Rain Watcher by Tatiana de Rosnay. First of all, the publisher, St. Martin's Press, was kind enough to give me a review copy of this book on netgally, so thank you very much to the publisher, St. Martin's Press, and to netgally. That really meant a lot. It was my first review copy ever, and yeah, I really enjoyed the book. So the book is a novel set in 2018 Paris. It is not the usual fantasy book that I review, but it is more like a slice of life book, and it focuses on the personal relationships between the main character and his relatives. And it's a very interesting take and a pretty interesting book. I actually enjoyed it a lot. So for this review, I will tell you a bit about the story as far as I can get without spoiling too much, and then tell you my likes and dislikes and my review score for the book. So there's some construction going on right now near my house, which doesn't help because I'm super busy and I can't even record these reviews anyways a lot of the time. So just stop. I just hope you can't hear it right now, but yeah, I hope it's okay. Alright, so let's start with the story. The main character is called Linden Malegarde, and he grew up in France as the son of a French father and an American mother. He is a famous photographer and is currently living in San Francisco, but in this book he comes back to Paris to celebrate his father's 70th birthday and his parents' wedding anniversary. The book is set in January 2019 actually. I think I said 2018 before, but it's actually set in 2019. The rain is coming down in buckets, Paris is completely drenched, and the river going through Paris, the Seine, is rising and rising. The family reunion they have in Paris consists of his mother, Lauren, his father, Paul, his sister, Tilia, and later on his sister's daughter, Mistral. So it's his close family. So just as his family is about to gather, the rain keeps coming and coming, and the Seine is rising and rising, so there are fears and media reports that the Seine might be overflowing again, like it did sometimes in the past. And through the eyes of Linden, and in this context of this city on the brink of, disaster, we can find out that his family has some issues. There have been things that were never discussed, partly because he's not living in the same country. He moved to New York and now he's living in San Francisco, and his sister is living in London. So there are some things that haven't ever been discussed. There are problems in the family, and through Linden's eyes we can see all of these problems come to light, and then just as the family gathering starts, there is a disaster striking their family that brings all of these to light even more. So I won't get into any more details because that would be really spoilery, and I don't even want to tell you what happened, but let's just say that the main focus of this book is on Linden and on his family, and I think you'll understand it a bit better if I give you my likes and dislikes about the book. So let's start with my likes. I like how the memories that Linden has of his childhood, of his family, and of his feelings are revealed slowly but steadily. We just keep finding out more and more, and as the story unravels, you as the reader are filled with so many emotions. You're filled with empathy, sadness. It's very good. So what I found myself doing is I just wanted to keep reading to find out what lies ahead, what happened in the family, because there are some things that are foreshadowed earlier, and you want to find out what that is and how the family will deal with it, and it's just very interesting to read about it. I didn't think it was, but it was. And one thing that I really enjoyed is the city of Paris with the overflowing Seine just gives such a great background. You can really feel the mood, like it's very moody, like the rain coming down and the city being kind of filthy and wet and just kind of unpleasant. It was a great background for this story. I really enjoyed how the atmosphere was described, this filthy city, rainy, wet. It was great. And the last thing that I really liked was the end, because it's kind of a very touching end. It's not like every storyline comes to a perfect end, but the end still is, I felt like it was very nice. And I love what Tatiana de Rosnay did with the stories in front of every chapter, because In the beginning, I didn't really understand what they were about. It's one of these stories where there's a reveal at the end of the book, and suddenly all of that makes sense. So yeah, I really enjoyed the end. The last thing I enjoyed was the writing, because the writing was just phenomenal. Honestly, it captured the emotions so great, it captured the mood of the city so great. I really, really enjoyed it. I think the writing was superb. But there are also some things I didn't like that much. And the main problem for me was that sometimes it was a bit slow. And because the family interactions were generally the only thing that were kind of interesting, it just wasn't that interesting anymore. Sometimes it got a little boring. But still, I think the whole atmosphere with the city of Paris helped a lot in keeping me interested. And yeah, overall, I would say I really enjoyed it. I gave this book a 7 out of 10. I think it was a really nice story. It was a little slow at times, and that combined with it being kind of slice of life and only focusing on the relationships in the family is, well, a little boring, to be frank. But most of the time, the story was actually pretty interesting, and I was surprised how gripping it was. Alright, so overall I would say it was a very nice story, and actually more interesting than I thought before I read it, because I didn't think I would get that interested in their personal relationships, but sometimes it just got a little boring. But yeah, what really captured the book for me was the writing. The writing is just great. I really enjoyed it. The mood, the emotions, they came across so well. So yeah, thanks again to St. Martin's Press, thanks to NetGalley for providing me with this ARC, and I hope you enjoyed this review. I know I made a huge break before this video, which is because I was in the US and I really couldn't record anything. And when I came back, I was super busy, so sorry about that. There are gonna be more reviews again. So stay tuned for the next ones, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye!